Uproar, the passionate debate underway tonight about America and the death penalty, galvanized by the death of the man named Troy Davis. Last night, he was executed amid cries for mercy and his own fervent declaration of innocence. ABC's legal expert Dan Abrams will be here to give us the big picture in just a moment. But first, our Steve Osunsami takes us through the dramatic events of the past 24 hours.
People say Troy Davis, too much doubt.
Troy Davis supporters are still anguished today that their screams for mercy went unanswered, that a man they believe is innocent was killed.
Troy Davis! Troy Davis!
And that nervous police called for reinforcements.
15 police cars in a row.
I think it's tragic that this police officer died, but I think it's maybe even more tragic that this man who could be innocent was executed.
Davis admitted he was there that day in 1989 when someone was trying to steal beer from a homeless man in Savannah. Off-duty police officer Mark McPhail tried to break up the fight and was shot and killed. Overnight, Davis declined a sedative, and in clear mind, just moments before he was executed, he looked into the eyes of McPhail's family and swore he didn't do it.
To the McPhail family, he said, of course, I did not personally kill your son, father, and brother.
Here's the issue. Davis was convicted with no murder weapon, no DNA test, and no conclusive physical evidence. Astoundingly, 7 of the 9 eyewitnesses now say Davis is innocent, that they lied, and that the real killer threatened their very lives if they ever spoke a word. The court said none of this was enough for a new trial, and the police officer's family remains convinced that Davis was the killer.
My father did not get a chance to say his bit. He was taken from us too soon, too early.
Davis's supporters argued that no one cared to dig any further for the truth because black men without resources are treated differently in court, especially in the South.
The dynamic here, if Troy was white, it may have been different. If Troy was rich, it certainly would have been different.
Troy Davis's supporters include a former president, prison wardens, and the former head of the FBI. There are many people who hope and believe this is a turning point in the debate over the death penalty, with so many people wondering whether justice here, Diane, was served.
All right, Steve Osunsami, our thanks to you, and I want to bring in Dan Abrams right now. 35 executions this year in the United States, more than 15,000 in the nation's history. What about race? How does it factor?
Well, currently, more than 50% of the people who have been executed have been white. But sitting on death row, 44% white, 42% black, that's disproportionate to the public at large, which is less than 13% black. But the race of the victims becomes very important. Since 1976, 77% of the victims in death penalty cases have been white, 15% black, 6% Hispanic, and geography, another really important factor. 80% of the executions have been in the South, less than 2% in the Northeast. But it's worth pointing out that in the Troy Davis case, 7 of the jurors were black.
All right, but so race has some complicating factor in there that has to be examined further. The U.S., as we know, is the only Western nation to have the death penalty. And we heard the sentiment in this country at the Republican debate when Governor Rick Perry was asked about his record, basically, as the person of the governor who had executed more people than any other governor in history. Listen.
If you come into our state and you kill one of our children, you will face the ultimate justice in the state of Texas, and that is you will be executed.
Gallup polls have been relatively unchanged in the last 5 years. 64% of Americans support it, 29% opposed. Not since 1971 has it been less than 50%.
All right, Dan Abrams, a lot to explore in the days ahead. Thank you so much.